Hey guys, it's Shelley from Southern Glitter Goddess. I am going to show you how I do the epoxy method to apply glitter to my tumblers. So I already pre-mixed my epoxy. You do not need a lot at all. I did more than I need because I usually dump the extra into a mold. And then I also have my glitter. I'm using LV, which is a really pretty chocolatey brown sparkle. And then I have my pre-prep tumbler. It's a 20 ounce. And I have it this pretty burgundy color. I like how it looks. You can't see the burgundy under the brown, but I like how it is kind of at the top, at the edge. When I clean it up, there's just a tiny little hint, which is the way that I'm doing the tumbler so that you can see it a little bit. So you don't apply much at all. I'm gonna move my plates to catch my glitter. You want just a really, really, really thin coat. When I'm done with the epoxy method, I don't put it on my spinner. I don't put enough on it to cause it to drip. Just apply it like that, and then you literally smooth it out. Super, super, super thin. So I put a super thin layer on, and then I pretty much stretch it. You don't want any ridges in it. You don't want any excessive. Try to make sure I get the edges really well. See how my glove kind of slides and then it stops on the dry paint? I try to pull the epoxy over as much as possible. Now that I know that I have the rim really well, I'm going to go down and do the bottom. A little spot right there. Didn't get the paint very well. So I kind of, once I think I've covered most of it, I kind of go around like this to feel it. Which it feels like the whole tumbler is covered. So now, again, making sure that that rim is covered really well, I pull it up and over the end, getting any extra and any excessive off and pulling it over the bottom. You want it to be as even as possible. If you have too much in one spot or it is heavier in one spot, it will absorb your glitter more. And then you'll get that kind of unevenness that you see sometimes. Oops, see how that slides? That's too much. All right. I think I have it nice and even. I don't have it too thick. My bottom is covered. My bottom edge is covered. I'm going to move this extra off to the side, and I just use a regular paper plate to catch my glitter. I know everybody does different stuff, but that's what I use. I'm going to actually take my glove off because it has that wet epoxy on it. I grab my glitter. Again, it's LV. And it's a pretty brown sparkle. I start at the bottom. I'm just going to cover the bottom really well. Shake off the extra. Check, make sure I have the bottom done. I'm going to come up and do the top. I like to make sure I have the rims covered really well before I move on to the rest of it. So there we have the top, the bottom, and then I just hold it at an angle. I don't know if you can see, I don't know if I'm blocking too much. We're almost done. You can see coming back around. And there you have it. And then I kind of spin it, check to make sure I have a good heavy coat. You can choose to color match your glitter if you want. You can do, if you're doing brown, you could certainly do a brown underneath it. For this particular cup, I like the way the burgundy kind of puts that little undertone underneath it. I know it's probably hard to see on the camera. Just check the bottom. Whoops, I have a little spot right here. All right, that's it. And then what I do is I go put it on my drying rack and I let it sit for 4 or 5 hours. Usually I let it sit overnight. If I'm in a hurry, I just do 4 or 5 hours, but just make sure you don't put too much on it so that it drips off. You want to keep it a nice, thin, even coat. And that's it. Then I do my first coat of epoxy over it. All right, guys. Have a good day.